Hey everyone, welcome to this dramatic, suspenseful funeral. Today things aren't that simple. When Ella walks towards Nick, her emotions explode like a volcano. Nick, with mixed feelings, walks over, his mind swirling with where do I go now? But ultimately he decides to temporarily settle at his father's place, as if he's been pulled into a family drama. The next morning, the father and son greeted like battle-worn brothers, and Nick was captivated by a yellowed old photo like a time delivery. He recorded their joyful moments, then he glanced at his mother's rose garden, where time seemed to play tricks. But now the garden looks like a wilderness, and Nick can't help but think that since he left 8 years ago, it's like an unattended grave. He realized that chasing dreams comes with a hefty price tag, so he decided to seize this opportunity to go home and make up for lost time. So, while dialing his agent, he mentally prepared himself, thinking, "You're not a bad person, just a lost lead." Fortunately, the agent didn't pile on the pressure. After all, what's done is done, and blaming won't change anything. With everything arranged, Nick hopped on his old bike, zipping through the quaint town streets like a free bird. In this little town, no one came to him for photos or autographs. It's like being a hidden treasure. Then he arrived at the supermarket, surprised to learn Ella worked there, thinking, this is a reunion opportunity, isn't it? He approached Ella with an apology. Even though her icy demeanor was like a glacier, Nick was undeterred, as if he had dived into an ocean of love. Unexpectedly, Ella's daughter burst in, offering Nick an extremely warm greeting. And even though it was just an occasional alien-like gesture, it instantly filled Nick's heart with boundless joy, exploding with delight. Nick gazed at the girl, feeling a kinship, like meeting a long-lost friend. This reminded him that he had been away from Ella for 8 years, while Ella's daughter was only 7. It's like a plot twist in a family comedy. The familiar warmth from the little girl sparked doubts in Nick's mind. Could she have some strange connection to him? Nick hurriedly questioned Ella, and she seemed to be caught off guard, beginning to recount the hardships of the years. After sharing, tears began to well up in Ella's eyes, as if recounting a tragic movie. Nick's heart seemed to plunge into a vortex of guilt. He desperately wanted to mend past wounds and win back Ella's heart, feeling like a child returning to school. Just as the moment was crucial, Ella's brother budged in, like an uninvited character in the heroine's comeback story, and started. Ella sensed that things were getting a bit tricky, so she hurriedly found an excuse to shoo him away, thinking, I need to keep a low profile. Nick being sent away felt like a tragic plot twist, so he immediately went to confront his father, asking why he never told him about having a daughter. Yet, with a hint of humor, his father quipped, Son, you're truly great when you're with your friends. His father's words were like a sharp knife, stabbing Nick's heart, as if saying, you missed something so important. For years, the reason he didn't go home was that he realized his mistakes and wanted to avoid facing them, like a lost. But now that he's back, he's determined to take action to make amends, aiming to achieve the redemption road of a life winner. He first stepped into the church to attend the holy service, hoping for a forgiveness package from God. After the service, old friends came up to hug him, making him feel like he was reliving the warm moments of a reunion episode. However, Ella was taken by her brother. The hurt wasn't easily erased, like one's complicated birth chart. The next morning, Nick picked up his phone, quietly listening to Ella's voicemails. This had become his voice navigation for years. He opened the door to find a letter on the floor with a credit card and car keys quietly left by the agent like a mysterious love letter. With new transportation, Nick sped to Ella's flower shop in his sports car to express his feelings with flowers. He chose flowers, took a deep breath, and cautiously expressed to Ella his wish to meet her daughter, like proposing marriage. Ella's eyes showed a hint of hesitation, as though something stirred inside her, but she knew Nick's mistake shouldn't fall on her daughter. We'll need to ask our daughter's opinion first, she told Nick, as straightforward as slicing vegetables to keep the family harmony. Back home, Ella cautiously began to talk to her daughter about her father, as if putting a safety lock on her secrets. Obviously, the wisdom of this little girl far exceeded her mother's expectations, as she keenly sensed her mother's hesitation, making it seem like a delicate psychological contest between the two. In the end, Nick had dinner with them as wished, but seizing the moment to bond with his daughter felt awkward. He gifted Ella her desired necklace, only to find he knew little about her interests, like a stranger. So he cautiously asked, You don't want me to call you Liam, right? Just like a classic comedic skit. Because I don't know much about your dad. So what's your connection with him? That's a fact. I said I wanted to meet him, but never said it'd be easy. That's the truth. Nick didn't mind this at all. He thought to win the mother and daughter's forgiveness, the efforts he made were still far from enough, like he was in a marathon. Then his daughter invited Nick into her room, looking at the wall covered with photos. Felt like each picture was saying, I have an amazing growing story. Nick was deeply touched, realizing he had missed much of his daughter's growth, like living in a nearly written story. Before, he just wanted to know his daughter better. Now he craved to take on the role of a father, feeling energized as if unlocking a new skill. You invite me back to school tomorrow, and I will absolutely love it. Nick couldn't wait to share the news with Ella, but she firmly opposed, as if pouring a bucket of cold water on his dreams. She questioned Nick. How could you leave so easily before, and now want to come back so easily? Facing Ella's resolute attitude, Nick didn't back down. Instead, he chose to smile tenderly and plead, trying to melt this icy man. Perhaps it was out of consideration for her daughter's happiness, or perhaps the hidden love driving her. Ella finally agreed to his request. Follow and subscribe. See you next time.